This morning, I went to start my car. My battery's dead. In today's video, I'm going to show you a few things you should be doing before replacing your battery. It may not even need a battery. Let's get started. So our first step is going to be to test the battery. Let's go ahead and put a meter on there. And it looks like we got 12.5 volts, so the battery looks like it's good. My next step is to attempt to start the engine. Once the starter engages, my battery voltage should not drop below 9.6 volts. If it does, then I'll replace my battery. Right now I'm holding my ignition switch to the start position, and the battery voltage on the meter is not dropping below 9.6 volts. I believe I have a corrosion problem or a starter problem. Now, if that meter dropped down to 9.6 when I attempted to crank or lower, I would have condemned the battery. But since it didn't, let's take these connections off, and maybe it's just a corroded connection. So I notice these are tight, but I do also notice there's a lot of corrosion there. If you need more information on checking your battery and charging system, I do have a video on my YouTube channel. I will link it in the description. One quick tip here. When you crank the engine or turn the key on, that green light, you see it there? That needs to be off. If it stays on or starts blinking, you have a problem with the anti-theft system or the key. I'm gonna put some gloves on and go ahead and disconnect these cables. Let's see what we got here. So the ground looks good. The positive has a lot of corrosion on there. Let's go ahead and take that off. It doesn't look bad, but let's go ahead and clean that up and see what we got. I see all this corrosion here, and I'm thinking maybe that's where I'm losing some of my current. Ooh, let's check it out under here. And it does look like there's some corrosion there. So I'm gonna take this apart and see what's going on here. Well, now they got the bolt off, it really doesn't look too bad. There is a little corrosion in here, but it doesn't look as bad as I would hoped it to look. Let's clean this up, put it all back together, and see if the vehicle starts. And then, once I'm all done here, I have a pressure washer. I'll go ahead and pressure wash the engine. Okay, let's start it up again and see what our meter does. We'll put our meter back on. I see we got our 12.5 volts. Still nothing. Unfortunately, it's looking like a starter. I'll have my assistant hold the ignition to the start position while I crawl underneath and tap the starter with a hammer. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, shut it off.
Okay, it's off completely.
Crank it again. Okay. So that's our problem. Yep.
I went ahead and held the ignition all the way in there. I had my wife do that. And then I took a hammer and just a blunt object. And while it was in the car, wherever I could hit it, I tapped it, and you could hear it started cranking when I hit it. So that was for sure, I knew it was a starter. And here's the old one, the new one's in, and everything works good. I hope you learned something in this video that'll save you time and money. But one more thing before I go. Tapping the starter can save you a tow bill. It also works on window motors, fans, and even fuel pumps. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Thanks.